That's one for the Numanoids out there. Gary Numan is in the studio. That's Music for Chameleons. What year was that, Gary? Can you remember that far back?
82, I believe.
Holy Hannah. Holy, that's 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh so
God,
I imagine when you recorded that, you would have had no idea that you would... did you think you'd be have a career this long? Did you think you'd still be making music this far ahead? Did you have an appetite for it?
I love doing it, but I don't think anyone expects to have such a long career. When you start, people talk about 2 or 3 albums and you'll probably be done. Maybe 4 or 5 if it's going to be a longer career. It doesn't seem for most people a long-term proposition.
But in a way, 2 and 3 albums and you were done for a while, weren't you? I mean,
it started to slide on number 5 actually. I got to 5 before it started to slide, and then it slid for quite a long time.
When you say slide, do you mean you felt creatively that you weren't doing what you wanted to do, or just the audience weren't responding, you weren't getting commercial success?
Both actually. The audience started to disappear fairly rapidly, and then I panicked a little bit because of that and started to write things that I thought might help or listen to advice.
That's fatal, isn't it? So rather than trying to do what you thought was right, you were trying to do what you thought people wanted to hear.
Yeah, and then it deepens. You start to listen to A&R people, and you just start to listen to everybody because you've got no faith in your own judgment anymore.
But what was that? Because you'd made money. You were relatively solvent, I imagine. You knew you could survive.
To begin with.
So it wasn't a desperate, I've got to keep this money coming in. Was it just, I've got to keep this career going, I've got to keep popularity out there?
Initially, it's a popularity thing. You want to keep the sales up because you're trying to compete with other people.
So it's kind of ego in a way, but not in a nasty way, but it's...
No, I don't see it as ego, because success is the beginning of everything else, the financial thing that comes with it, the life that you want to live and so on. But very, very quickly after that, it stops being about that at all. The money does run out pretty quickly, and then it becomes a completely different problem.
Did you enjoy that? Can you look back and realise that you enjoyed as fully as perhaps you should that early period of fame and success?
No, I didn't, but that's totally my fault. I wasn't natural at it, and so I didn't take to it as easily as I thought I would. I found a lot of it really, really intimidating and frightening. I did get used to it, but I don't think I enjoyed the first sort of couple of years, which were the big ones, as much as I should have done.
And that's a shame, though. It's a massive shame.
It is, but I don't think it's uncommon. And then, as time went by, you do get used to it. And then if you are
and then it's gone. Well, just before it goes, you just get used to it. Oh, I like this. Where have you gone? Have you? I'm assuming, and please tell me if this is too personal, but I'm assuming you've probably been in therapy, like most people who've had huge success and then gone and had to deal with other aspects of their life. So I imagine you've been through that process.
No.
Wow. Okay.
I'm English. I don't need therapy.
Well, you've been in America for a long while.
5 years now, coming up to 5 years.
So you dealt with it without outside help? You dealt with it without having someone to help steer you through it then?
Well, I only had trouble for the first sort of period. And then around about 92, I met Gemma, my wife, and she pretty much sorted me out and on almost every level. So.
Who, in the interest of full disclosure, we should say is sitting in the studio as we speak, but she's too far from the mic to chip in right now. Although it looks to me like she's disagreed. I think she still thinks there's some sorting out to be done.
It was a bold claim, wasn't it?
Yeah. When you were writing back then, though, you were creating this kind of slightly dystopian but fantastical future world or spin on this world now, okay? And you were seen as a futurist, I guess would be fair to say.
In '79, yes.
Yeah. Did the future pan out the way you expected? Are you happy with the future now? Because I know that's going to bring us to your new album, which of course is talking about a possible next step in the immediate near future. But are you happy with the way the changes that you saw, the developments that happened technologically and otherwise? Did that delight you? Did you think, oh, maybe I was right?
No, I don't think I was right at all. And thank God for that. It was a pretty unpleasant future that I was seeing.
But there are aspects of it, aren't there? Unless I've totally misunderstood your songs.
The technological side of it,
yeah.
And how that will influence us.
And how that we're kind of connected and yet isolated.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That was all very much a part of it. But I can't honestly claim that I saw the internet coming or anything like that. I really.
Do you know what your songs were about? I'm just checking here because I'm feeling. I can explain them to you, Gary.
I wish you would.
I've listened to them a lot. I can tell you what they're about. Okay,
no,
there's one about a bloke in a park. Okay.
Yeah.
Here's a question you might not have had before. Are you a fan of musical theatre?
Of musical what?
Theatre.
Yeah, we was at Wicked the other day.
You like a musical?
I don't actually like them very much, but we was at
Hold
Wicked
on.
the other day.
You gave me the two completely different answers to the same question there.
Well-
I said, are you a fan of musicals? You said, yeah, I saw Wicked the other day. And I said,
Well,
oh.
yeah, the yeah was a
So you
lie.
don't like musicals?
I'm not. They're not my favourite thing, but I love going to see them with the kids because the kids love them.
Kids love
And it's a nice family thing. So yeah, I like to go with them with the family because it's a nice family thing, but it's not my thing.
My reason for asking is, if someone said, okay, let's look at those early albums and there's kind of a story there, there's a world there, that might make a cool musical, would you be interested?
Yes.
But not just for the cash. I think about the actual artistic side of it. Would you be interested?
I don't know. I can't imagine actually my stuff being suitable.
Wouldn't
for
you like to
musical.
see a young actor coming out in the full Numan gear from 81,
No,
robotically sliding across the stage,
No.
refusing to make eye contact,
no,
performing in an introspected and yet endearing manner,
no. You put it that way, yeah.
on the surface cool and placid, underneath in turmoil? Wouldn't you enjoy being on the outside for once, looking in?
Yeah, you make it sound so interesting.
I'd enjoy it.
I don't think I did it.
Well, I never saw you live back then. I would love to have seen you live back in the day when
What
you
a
with the
brilliant
tube
summary
helmet.
of my entire early life.
I apologise if that seemed harsh.
I think it's actually
It came
again
from,
spot on.
It came from a place of warmth and fondness and admiration.
I feel that.
Okay, tell me about the new album then, because this would it be fair to say it's a concept album, or is it just something in which there are concepts in which we can easily pick out?
It's ideas lifted from a book that I've been trying to write for some time.
And this is a kind of a warning, or is it a piece of fiction?
It's it started out as pure fantasy, a possible future after global warming.
It's interesting though, isn't it, that you write something as fantasy or you write something as fiction, and your natural bent seems to be to go towards something which is dystopian. It's just kind of like apocalyptic somewhat, and then suddenly we find ourselves standing on the brink of it, and yet it doesn't feel like how we'd imagine it would feel. I mean, we have dismay and we have despair, but it still doesn't quite feel like it's going to happen, although it may well. Is there a question in there?
No, I think that's people's natural tendency to be hopeful. I see that in loads of people that you talked about it. It's all, this could happen, that could happen. It all could be very, very terrible, but somehow you just can't believe that it's going to. I think until it actually hits you right in the face, most people live in hope.
And you the photograph of you that comes with the single and no doubt the album, which I have here, Savage, is called. Hold it, what's it called underneath there? I can't even read that anymore.
Can you not?
No.
Songs from a Broken World.
That's too small. I need my reading glasses. I bought a pair on eBay. They're like £2. They're great. They work great.
Yeah, we should have had them.
You don't wear reading glasses yet?
I do, actually.
Yeah.
It's just that I know what it's called, I don't need to read it.
This is like a therapy session for both of us now. Okay, so Savage, and then there's some small type underneath, but there's a picture of Gary post-apocalyptically, or kind of slightly, it's not Mad Max, it's like halfway between Mad Max and one of those kind of like desert creatures in Star Wars. You're surviving in the wild, aren't you?
Yeah. It does have that filter, doesn't it?
Fun to do when you go and get dressed up for a shoot like that?
No, we were out in the middle of the desert in a sandstorm. It was pretty unpleasant, actually. But
Well, you only have yourself to blame. I mean, if you wrote a nice album for people, a nice album for the boys and girls, happy things, a nice future involving restaurants, theatre,
Musicals.
working, functioning, trouble-free public transport, you could have been photographed in those locations.
yeah, I just keep making mistakes.
You write a story and a music about a bloke living alone in the desert who looks very unhappy, then you're going to find yourself in that place. That's my advice to you, Numan.
There's so much wisdom pours out of you, Jonathan. I should come here more often.
I should charge for this, shouldn't I, Gary?
should do.
Okay, let's hear. This is a track from the new album. It's called Savage, followed by some very small type, and this is And It All Began With You.
I know your voice when the words you speak lie. I know your face when you're trying to hide your fears. I know your breath when the thought makes you cry again. I know you well, and I've seen your tears. And it all began with you. I was born the day you came to me. And it all began with you. On the day you made the world, when you whisper my name, I'll be with you. When you reach out your hand, I'll be with you. When you walk to the light, I'll be with you. When you stand before God, I'll be with you. All that we are is more than I dreamed. All that we shared is more than a life can hold. All that we have is more than we'll ever need. All that we lost is nothing but time. And it all began with you. And it ends for me the day you leave. And it all began with you. So today we stop the world. When you whisper my name, I'll be with you. When you reach out your hand, I'll be with you. When you walk to the light, I'll be with you. When you stand before God, I'll be with you.
A good sound. It all began with you, Gary Numan. That's from his new album Savage. What's it say at the bottom again, Gary?
Songs from a Broken World.
Get a bigger font, can you?
Should have done.
Yeah, I mean, it's a CD. You're going to release it on vinyl because vinyl's back big
Yeah, no,
time.
it's on vinyl. Picture disc vinyl.
Do you like the
Even on
vinyl?
cassette.
Do you collect the vinyl in cassette?
Yeah.
What are you, great wild? You can't say that anymore. Do you have a cassette player?
I don't know.
Well, why are you releasing it on cassette?
It's not for me. It's for other people.
Who listens to it on cassette?
Apparently,
Who?
young people.
When?
I have no idea.
Have you seen one doing it?
No.
I got a Walkman out the other day. I got one of my Walkmans
What, the
out.
original cassette?
I found a Walkman, yeah. I had a limited edition one from Sony back in the day, and I got it out and I put it in, but it wasn't quite playing in my time. So I thought I'd look cool, like a hipster walking down the road listening to, and I had a George Michael cassette I found. I was listening to that on my Walkman, but it was a long, it was like that. So it kind of was hard to get the rhythm going for the walk. You know, it used to set the pace.
It's not my favourite medium, to be honest, but that's, apparently...
And this is for people to listen to at home on a cassette player or on a portable cassette playing device. Do you know what they're thinking?
No idea.
They
I didn't
won't
even know they were back in vogue.
But,
the labels
well,
said
they're
on
not. I mean, that's what I'm telling you, they're
no,
not.
I think they are.
Cassettes aren't.
No, I think they are.
Gary,
Jonathan?
time for some true segue here. No, they're not.
Okay.
Why are they wasting... Because presumably this comes out of some slice of your profits here.
It should add to my profits, hopefully.
No, because no one's going to buy it on cassette. You're going to wind up... You're going to be sitting on a cassette mountain. You're going to have to build a cassette house in the desert for yourself. That future image of yourself, you won't be wrapped in rags. You'll be wrapped up in small pieces of magnetic tape that you took from the cassette mounting that was left over from this failed venture.
Oh, no, it's going to be great.
No, look into it. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is just have a check. Looking at how many cassettes... I want to know how many cassettes you're selling.
Yes, so do I. I can't see it myself, but that's what they reckon.
No, it's not happening, Gary.
Do you know? No, actually, I think they've already sold them all.
Well, they made, what, 12?
50.
Okay. Oh, really?
I don't know.
So let's talk about your buried treasure. You've got a couple of things from, artistic things that ring your bell that maybe others haven't heard of. And I had never heard of either of these, so I'm intrigued to hear about them.
Well, the first one is an artist called David Stupakis from New York, who does the sort of art that would appeal to me, dark and moody. And
What medium does he work in?
Well, he's a painter.
So he's a painter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what type of paint, so.
But they look, and they're colourful. They're in colour, or they're gloomy.
They're in colour. They're quite gloomy. There's lots of darks and so on. But I do love it. It's really striking. And one of the more recent ones he's done, for example, is it looks like an old galleon, but floating in space with an island coming on top of it.
Yeah. And where do you have them displayed? Where do you put them? Where's a suitable place to have that kind of? Because it presumably is fairly intense. Would I be right? It's quite a kind of stirring painter.
Yeah, it's quite powerful stuff. We have one in the main lounge. No, two in the main lounge downstairs, and one in our upstairs bathroom.
Your boudoir. Oh, your bathroom.
Yes.
In the bathroom.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
It suits.
Which in English means toilet.
Toilet.
But you can't hang it above the bath because of condensation.
No, it's right next to the shower, actually.
Right next to
we
the
don't
shower.
get condensation.
Okay, and do you see it when you're sitting down doing your business in
No,
there?
it's behind you.
So it's behind you. So you see it when you walk in.
You see it if you're a man and we're weird.
But at your age, you don't stand up to do that anymore, do you?
Yeah.
No, never pass the opportunity for a sit down, Gary. There's another bit of free advice for you. Okay, that's another bit of free advice.
It is good advice.
It's good advice. I'm telling you, I'm writing a book. Tips for the elderly goth. Okay, so we've done Michael, and who's the other person you want to talk about?
It's a singer, a lady called Agnes Obel. I heard a track called Familiar from an album called Citizens of Glass, only very recently, actually. And again, it was Gemma that introduced this to me. It's a very ethereal, haunting kind of music. Very, very different to the stuff that I do. But it was beautiful. And I heard Gemma playing it. And she went flying over, as I often do with the things that she plays, to find out who it was. And I don't even know where she finds this stuff, but she does. She consistently finds really, really interesting things. And this is by far the best thing I've heard for a while.
And you say you only heard it recently, but was this recorded some time ago then?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. I've only really just discovered her.
Do you know anything? Where's she from? Agnes Obel, where's she from?
No idea.
You know nothing about it, apart from you like this
not
song?
Not really. I just know that I really like it, and I've never heard of it.
Have you listened to a whole album or cassette of her music yet?
I've listened to 4 tracks on the album now.
Okay, well, I'm keen to hear this then. So this is you would say somewhat ethereal, somewhat kind of it's less forceful than your work, for example.
Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
Really.
This is Familiar by Agnes Obel. I'm listening to this for the first time as well, so let's hope that we all enjoy it.
Can you walk on the water if I?
A beautiful sound there. Familiar, Agnes Obel. I got a little bit of info for her. She's a Danish singer-songwriter. She's born in 1980. Her mother is a jurist, but it says here, a jurist by day, an exceptional pianist by night. It sounds like a kind of superpower, doesn't it? By day, I defend in courts. By night, I play piano beautifully. Gary, always lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming back in, and good luck with the album. When is the album actually? When does this drop, as they say?
September 15th.
September the 15th, the new album, it's called Savage, blah, 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 blah. And it's good. It's really good. Congratulations. You must be pleased, because I get the feeling that you are in a place where you are, I've read some interviews with you recently, you seem to be comfortable in your skin, you seem to be comfortable with the work you're putting out there and the way it's being received in the world.
Yes, I am, thank you. Yeah, it's going very well.
That's a good thing to hear. A safe journey back to LA, and thank you for bringing your lovely family with you.
Thank you very much.
Take care, Gary.
Bye-bye.